Hubert Centers here, and a follow-up to yesterday's video. Yesterday's video, I recommended that you short LinkedIn LNKD. Now, the whole market as a whole fell out of bed today, so that helped the cause, obviously. Let's take a look at some targets that you can use. Now, we're going to talk best-case scenarios and worst-case scenarios. So, best-case scenario, let's say that you shorted at the dead top, which if you did, congratulations, it hardly ever happens that you do that. Now, you probably shorted it maybe at the open, or maybe you shorted it at the close. Those are your three options. Hopefully, you didn't short it at the dead low because now you're down on the position. So those were your three options for the short, actually four options. Now, here's some targets that I like for this. So the next target that I'm going to recommend you try to hold to is down here at $88, and we're just going to say 88.01 just so you can jump out before everybody else tries to bail. Now, if you want to hold, you can actually cut half of it loose and see if you can then target the area of 84. Now, all we're doing is we're just looking back, good old-fashioned support and resistance, and we're just looking back here. That's the most recent low there at 88. And then if we back up again, now we step back down to 84. Now, technically, you've got a few key things here in your favor. You do have a Darvas box breakdown that retraced 50% and then started pushing lower. That's a positive. You have this one big red candle. That's just a flush sell. That's some panic involved in the market. And then you have this red. Notice, just count the sections. Here's blue. There's red, blue, in red, blue, red, blue, red. Now you're going, that's great. We can now distinguish red from blue. What you're looking for is, do you have more red or more blue? And in this case, you have a little bit more red than you do blue. So what you want to do is you want to let it rotate from the blue candles back to the red candles and get short. Here you can see you've had this rotation from blue back to red, so that's a good short. And then these little red dots down here, see these little red dots that I'm circling with the ink? That means it's in a consolidation phase. And then once it had a green dot with a red histogram lower, that means the squeeze has fired short. So it should give you a little bit more continuation. Now, if you're not already short, what are you going to do and what are your stops going to be? If you're not already short, you're going to have to let it bounce a little bit. Don't short the dead lows, never a good idea. Stop-wise for this, you could use a relatively tight stop. You could use the tight stop of the high of the day there, and I'll use the ink here in a minute and we'll find out exactly what the high is. Or you can go from half the width of the box on an ambush. 1, 2. So your stop can be 97.82 or 99.35. Now it's at $91. So it's about a 6-point stop loss. Fairly good, but you're already in the profit margin pretty good, so that's not too bad. So good luck. Hope it helps. See you in the next video.